cool.
All right. I'll tell you the conversation I had when we start. We're unprotected because John hooked us up with a better card.
This fucking asshole.
So it will
You
never...
already forgot how I was going to start the podcast, and I just told you 20 seconds ago. And before you even fucked up, you fucked up because you go, okay, here's how I'm going to start the podcast. I'm going to finish that story on the podcast. And I'm looking at you like, no, you're not. I'm not going to let you tell that story. And then, without even going to that, you just went right in. And it was only like this 15-second break in your mind.
Do you want to start over?
No. You don't get it now. I'm going to throw it in whenever I want.
No, throw it in.
No. It'll be thrown in when the time is right, and the time's not right. Welcome to Prinze and the Wolf, everyone.
Nighttime is the right time.
The night time is the right time.
Right time.
That was from his comedy album, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Adam Sandler. Anyway,
Josh Wolf.
Freddie Prinze.
How are you, man?
I'm very well. I had a good weekend. There were 3 awesome fight cards that I wanted to watch. A couple of them lived up to the hype. I want to talk about that today. How was your weekend?
I had Houston and Austin.
Houston.
They were fantastic. Great shows. Lots of Prinze and the Wolf fans, especially in Houston, coming out strong. We had, did you see somebody got on stage and sang a verse to the song that was about you?
Oh, I didn't see the song, but I heard they hit me on social media and they were like, thanks, Josh, for letting me do my verse.
His whole verse was about how this girl wouldn't have sex with him, but she would have if he looked like Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
It was so good.
That's the reason why most dudes on social media, when they talk shit, it's because of that.
Yo, and then his dad got on stage because on Saturday night in Austin, my late shows on Saturday, I go long. I usually do about an hour 40.
Damn, bro.
And I bring people on stage, and it's real interactive.
That's like professional comic.
It's super interactive. On Saturday Late Show, Reed's dad came up after Reed and did an interpretive dance behind me.
Come on.
As I played I Want It That Way on guitar, and I asked him...
This was in Austin?
Yeah, I said...
For sure. Austin's so cool.
I said, what is your dance style? Are you slow and sultry? Are you athletic? You know what he told me his dance style was?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
You just say let it ride?
He said balls to the wall.
All right. That's Austin's Let It Ride.
Yeah, dude, it was.
I love it.
And listen.
That's basically like, if you're an emoji, that's just the shrug emoji, like, fuck it.
I'm
just going to do what I do.
Dude, this is how the 3 people who got on stage that night described their dancing styles. There's one dude named JoJo.
Oh, I got to hear this one.
I said, what's your dancing style? He goes, it's like I fuck like crazy. And I was like, okay, so that's JoJo fuck like crazy.
And what song are you playing? I'll Still Do You?
I Want It That Way by Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
And then this one woman got on stage, this Asian woman. She got on stage because she was mad.
What was her name?
Jeannie. And she was mad because I had mentioned earlier in the show that Puerto Ricans have better asses than Asian women. And she wanted...
Yeah, that's...
I didn't think it was controversial.
No.
Is that controversial?
No, Jeannie's the only person on earth arguing that.
I didn't know that was controversial.
I'm sure Jeannie has a great ass, but you could put it next to the worst Puerto Rican ass on earth, and pretty much every dude over the age of 16 is going, is that J-Lo?
Yeah. It really...
Like, it's game over.
It didn't seem controversial.
And I find all women beautiful,
Yeah.
but if you're just talking about which booty's better, no. That's like Mike Tyson fighting meat.
But she got on stage, and I will say, and I say this respectfully, and she shook it for everybody, so she wanted people.
Right.
She had a great.
I'm sure it was a lovely booty.
But it's not
But it's not a Puerto Rican booty.
But she called herself. I said, "What type of dance are you gonna do?" And she was like, "Booty shake."
All right.
So we had balls to the wall, booty shake, and fucks like crazy. JoJo fuck like crazy.
And JoJo fuck like crazy.
And so I started playing,
and how long does this bit last? Is this a good 20?
On Saturday night, it was probably 25 minutes.
Dude, that's beast, man.
I bring them on stage individually.
And you're rapping with them, you're talking to them.
I give them a microphone. I say, "What's your name? 0 to 10. How do you rate your dancing? What's your dance style? And what is your best move? What move are you pulling out to win it?"
Do they tell you the move or show you the move?
They tell me. I go, don't show me.
Yeah, because you don't want to wreck
Right.
it. That's the whole wrestling thing.
Right. I go, just tell me. So, and some people talk shit a little bit. They do like a promo.
Do they name their move? Do they?
Yes.
I
One
love
guy
it.
called it in San Francisco. One guy, I go, what move are you winning with? He goes, the stank leg.
The stanky leg is a real thing.
Yeah. But it's been my favorite. It's been my favorite thing to do on Saturdays because it just lets
I
me
love
let
that,
loose,
dude.
and
And that's at the end of the show.
I do it because I can't follow it. It's 20 minutes of just so much fun.
That's a great way to go out.
But so thank you to Reed and to his dad for getting on stage.
Thanks, Jeannie and JoJo.
Yeah, you guys were all so good. And by the way,
Austin's super weird.
and the winner earns money for their server. So I either give the server either $50 or $100 out of my own pocket.
Let's do 40 when we do.
Should we
the show.
do 40?
Let's do 40.
Okay. Am I bringing my guitar? Should I bring my guitar?
I don't know why you wouldn't, man.
I'll bring it. Maybe that would be good because then you and I can judge the dance contest.
And we'll do that in the late one. We'll do a Mount Rushmore, a Mount Mushmore.
A Mount Mushmore is even
right?
better.
In the first one, and boom.
Do you
That'll be
want
good.
to?
Do you want to do a little rundown rap? You want to see
Yeah.
what we're going to talk about
Yeah,
today?
yeah.
All right. I want to talk. I'll give you some words that hopefully you can think of stuff that rhymes with.
Okay.
I'm going to talk some UFC.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to talk some CM Punk.
Saw that.
Okay. Oof.
Uh-huh.
We're going to talk some Yoel Romero and Robert Whitaker.
Okay.
Not Pernell Whitaker.
Okay.
We're going to talk some Terrence Bud Crawford beating up this poor Australian
He
kid.
beat the shit out of him.
And we're also going to talk about a fight here in LA that was for the championship. One was the primary championship. That was Leo Santa Cruz. And he was fighting Abner Mares, who had the secondary title, and they fought at Staples Center and they sold it out. They had 600,000 people watched on Showbox, so it was a good number for them. And if we have time, we'll talk about that. And then WWE, I'm dedicating my whole wrestling segment, well, 99% of it, to Elias. And you will love Elias because he goes into the middle of the ring with a spotlight, a stool, and a guitar. And he plays a song for every crowd, and he talks shit to the crowd in the song. It's like a freestyle. And he always dumps on them. And it's to the point now that they love it, and they're waiting to get dumped on. And he's literally changed the WWE to Walk with Elias. And you're gonna love him. And I'm deep diving on Elias today. So that's what I got. And then, some other stupid stuff.
I have a couple things that I want to talk about. One thing, a little on the heavier side.
Ooh.
And then, somebody reached out to me and wanted you and I to talk about peer pressure and how to avoid getting caught up in it. I guess there was
Okay.
somebody online who was, and I think you may be talking to, I think you actually are talking to the two right people because I've transformed myself about how I deal with peer pressure. And I don't know how you started.
we'll get into that.
We'll get into it. And then, I just want to go over something real quick. It's a little heavy. We can hit it whenever you want, but I want to make sure I hit it this podcast.
You got it. Maybe not rap about it, though.
Oh, I'm not going to rap about it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I do want to give a quick little, I'll do a quick little thing about people have been talking to me a lot about following dreams. Just a
Okay.
quick little thing about that.
Oh, I love following dreams.
Yeah, me too. I really like that. I think it's a good thing to
Remember
always
words
touch back
like serene, cream, I dream of Jean.
Genie with the booty. Yeah.
So whatever you need in there, all
Okay.
right? I'm not going to give you a fast one because you haven't done well on a fast one. But the last one was kind of slower and you crushed. So do you want it a little faster or stay in our lane? Or you don't remember? You don't remember.
I'll do whatever you want.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
You should do the Janet Jackson. Give me a beat.
Give me a beat.
That was great. Sorry, here's your beat.
Yeah, you know what? By the way,
should've given you
one Halloween I went as Michael Jackson,
I went as Michael Jackson in the first grade.
and I went maybe when I was 18. And the only thing I screamed all night, my impersonations, because I can't dance,
Right.
is I would scream, "Hey! You knocked me off of my feet now, baby."
That's good.
But that's all I would say. That's all I could do.
But 18.
18. Ooh,
Let's do the rap.
But I went all.
Let's do the rap.
I stayed white.
Let's do the rap.
I stayed.
Do the rap.
I stayed, and I wore a glove.
Let's rap it.
And then I did a. Do you want me? Do you
Just
want to
held
see
up
my?
your right hand. You held it on the other.
Do you want to see me do it?
No, man. Let's just go to the rap. You were 18.
Do you want to see me move
dressed
more?
up like Michael.
You want to see me move more?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's actually a little intriguing, isn't it?
But I don't. None of the other stuff. Just the and the kick. The kick's
You
not.
want to see the kick because you're curious if I'm gonna pull a muscle.
No. You can get the kick. You work out, bro.
Yeah, but I don't
You
stretch
don't
it.
stretch.
Not
Then
as
now I
much.
want to see it. Are you ready?
Yeah. By the way, there's nothing funnier than seeing a grown man pull a muscle, dude. That makes me laugh.
So hard, dude. That's so brutal. It makes you laugh, but it's happened to you, so you're like,
That's why it makes me laugh.
that's-
That quick, the eyes open and they grab for the hand.
Yeah,
like,
and it's like someone shot him from 1,000 yards with a sniper
Sniper.
rifle. You're like, oh! Tom Barrington, wow! Oh, you son of a bitch!
that's the exact.
Billy Zane! Oh!
Mark Wahlberg's in a tree somewhere.
Ryan Phillippe on the TV series! Oh, you got me.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Welcome back. Here we are again. It's Tuesday again, my friends. You're here with the wolf and the prince. Let's start cause we tend to ramble on a little bit. That's me talking about my shit, but today we're talking UFC. But we're not talking Ronda Rousey because she's in the WWE. Now we're on for an hour of fun. Come on board, we're inside, no sun. Just me and Freddie. We'll see you at the end.
Dude, you dropped the mic.
Yeah!
Well, very gently. and
Gently, I
delicately.
laid it down
Yeah,
because I
that's
own this
fine.
one.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd have been.
Yeah! Boom!
Don't, because I own a couple too. So
I know.
And John owns them.
What'd you think about that one? Where am I?
That's top shelf, best so far.
Because
you
I-
almost lost me.
Yeah.
But
But
you
you
went into
caught
this,
with me.
like other like
Yeah.
things, and I was like, all right, and we're back. And we're back.
I did. I slowed it down
was good
a little
though, man.
bit. And then you went with me.
There's like you and there's Busta Rhymes right now in the slow and fast rap game, and I can't think of anyone else.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So say, you know where I started.
Oh yeah.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom. Here you are.
Right? So now, so say, and this has been a quick ascension. I feel like.
I feel it's been incredibly quick. I'm not even trying to be an asshole.
I feel like the learning
man.
curve's been pretty good.
Like you went from as bad as I am, and I can't rap. Like
Uh-huh.
my rap skill is 0, and that's where you were, and you were committed at that. Now you thought it was maybe a 5,
Yeah.
But trust me, I know bad rap because I'm a bad rapper, and you were my 0.
but
You-
I was rapping with confidence, which gives me.
that doesn't
matter.
CM Punk fought with confidence.
Okay, good. Okay.
A whole lot of it.
Okay.
It was all covered in the ring when the fight was over. All that confidence.
He got rocked.
Yeah, shouldn't have happened. But from where you started, 0, worst rapper ever
Mm-hmm.
to make someone actually listen. Actually, there's one guy on YouTube that I saw one time that was really bad. But and he had like bad followers. I was like, yo, that's the worst rapper ever.
It's crazy.
That was for you a 10 on a legit scale.
4.
No, man, that was like right below Seth Green. You're like 6'5", bro, 6.5.
Was Seth Green's like a 7?
Seth Green's a little better than a 7.
Is he?
Yeah, I was just being nice. He's more like an 8.5.
Well, here's
Seth Green can rap.
here's what I just want to say.
Jewish motherfuckers can rap,
Here's
bro.
what here's what I want to say. Yeah, I think Lil Dicky's Jewish.
Every Jewish dude I know,
The Beastie Boys?
raps nice. Well, I don't know them, but they rap nice too.
Guys, don't think I'm at home practicing.
no, what you think he remembers to rehearse?
I didn't even remember he told me not to
No.
say anything when we started the podcast 10 seconds before.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, dude.
Man, I was gonna do the whole Top Gun thing, the bow, bow, bow. I was gonna play it on my phone, and I was gonna be like, motherfucking Val Kilmer
I know,
is
he's-
attached 100%.
It's-
But no, I'm not gonna do it now. We're not gonna talk about
We're not
Top
gonna-
Gun because of you.
We can't talk about it?
No, we're gonna get into what we were gonna talk
We
about.
should talk about it.
Do you wanna start with heavy shit or good shit? Happy shit? Dreams? What do you wanna talk about?
I'm going to blend in the heavy with the dreams.
Do it.
And I love this idea, dude, of a Mount Rushmore of sequels we'd like to see.
Oh, dude, I never thought of that. That's good.
Well, because I had never thought I wanted to see a Top Gun 2. There's when that story.
No, I love it.
Right, when that story ended, I was ever like, well, I wonder what happens.
Well, I know, right? Because people are always like, man, Summer Catch 2. What happened?
Yeah, you're like,
We wanted to see it, and I'm like, well, motherfuckers, why didn't you show up to see the first one? Get it made 10 if y'all came to hang out. Ate some
I'm not
popcorn.
sure if you know how that works. See, Austin Powers made 3 because people went to see them.
You don't have to say it that harsh. It makes it worse.
Oh no, yeah, people went to see the movie. Listen,
not as many.
More people went.
Just leave it at not as many. You're gonna say something funny. And it's gonna be mean.
I'm gonna
and
say
it's gonna
something.
hurt.
It's not more people went to see Summer Catch than have seen my comedy shows total.
No, that's not true. How long you been doing comedy?
Yeah, maybe not.
All right.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay. So I just want to touch on something real quick, and we're gonna combine dreams with heavy. I was reminded this weekend to never give up on what you love or what you dream about or your passion, because you never know how long you're going to be on this earth. Our family lost one of Jacob's best friends this weekend, and he played on Controlled Chaos last week. He wrote half of the songs on Beth's
How
movie.
did you speak about this young man?
Many times you've heard me speak about him. And, he passed away that he was found just unresponsive on the floor in his bedroom. And, he was in a sober living house. I think everybody knows that. But it's important to me and to his family especially. We read some articles over the weekend grouping him in with Bourdain and Kate Spade. And that wasn't this kid. This was not a kid who was looking for a way out. This is a kid who was so happy to be involved with life again. And so happy to be alive and to share who he was and his gift. And, we always said about Jackson, his name was Jackson Odell. And the way he got songs on my wife's soundtrack, I think I told you this before.
Yeah.
Beth was I was on the road. Beth was in her bedroom, and she just heard this music coming from the backyard and came out, and there he was, a 17-year-old kid. And she was like, "Whose music is that?" She said, "Mine." She was like, "I need that in my movies." I don't know where at that age where he drew such emotion and life experience, but his lyrics and his songs and his music were so far beyond his age. And you could feel every breath and every note when he sang. It was not too often like a 17-year-old kid has me fanboying. But there's a video of him singing in our backyard during Beth's party after her movie. And he was on a shitty little amp singing this song. And you could hear a backyard full of grown-ups. You could hear a pin drop. There were grown people crying just from him playing this song on his guitar. And it's important, that you do what you love. We get one ride on this rock, guys. We get one ride on this rock. And right now, on this time on Earth, we're more scared of things that might happen than are actually happening. And right now, we're living in that fear. We're living in the fear constantly. And a lot of that has to do with who our president is, and he pushes that out.
I don't agree with that part, but I agree with everything else. I feel people have always
Yes, that's true also.
been that way, regardless of.
But what I mean by
and all over the world.
Yes, the news pushes out the fear all the time. It makes you scared of things that might happen. Instead of things, look out your window. What is happening? What is happening, everybody? Not what might happen. Not I should be scared of something that might happen. I should be scared of these brown people who might be in the country. I should be scared of whatever you're scared of, might be scared of. Look out your fucking window. And let's deal with what's happening. And live now, live fucking now. You never know when there's no tomorrow. What if you were scared about something happening your whole life and it never happened? What if you were scared, you lived your whole life building bunkers and collecting guns because you thought the government was coming to get them, and it never happened, and you never lived. You never saw the beauty that was in your own country. You never traveled to Europe and saw that there was a bigger world out there. You never lived because you were so scared about things that might happen. And so what this weekend reminded me is you can't be scared of what might happen. Deal with what is happening. And I would encourage all of you, if you can, to Google Jackson Odell, Odell, and check out his music. You know, it's really important that to us that, you know, who he was lives, because it was really important to him. And all of his interviews about his music, he talks about living in truth. And all he does try to do is speak truth. And it was so crazy to me as an artist that young, he knew what it took me until I was 45 to figure out. It's crazy.
That's not crazy.
At 20, he was just like, this is my truth and this is who I am. And it poured out through his music and through his art. And as an artist, you know, that's one of the things that I admire most in artists is people who are just like, here I am. And if you like me, you'll find me. And if you don't, that's fine. But and he didn't change that. And yeah, man, I just wanted to just remind people how we do this one time, how you want to spend it.
You're not going to get me to listen to country music.
He's not playing country music. He's not playing. He plays like a folk, but he just wrote a song for
All right, then I'll listen
Shawn
to
Mendes.
it. But if this was a whole thing,
To get you to listen to country music?
I'm not going to Zach Brown, man. I'm sure he's badass.
Did you see that tweet? You see that tweet? Somebody told you to go to, yeah.
By the way, everybody who always said, they're like, dude, it's not that country.
No, it's not.
They're always like, just listen to one
Yeah.
song. You'd really like them. I'm like, no.
But I played you one song and you were like, I like that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But that sounded like rock and roll. It didn't sound like country. It
was-
sounded more like alt rockish.
That was actually it. That was the number 1 song on the rock list. Rock
Oh,
chart.
well, there you go.
But yeah, man, that was it for me. And then great weekends in Austin and Houston. Thank you to the Prinze and Wolf fans. I signed a bunch of
You
your
already
fucking
thanked them.
cookbooks.
You already told Austin how great
I
they
didn't-
are. Don't
I
let them
signed
get a
your
big
crack.
head. Then they're going to be like Dallas.
Why did I sign that crack all the time? Why am I always signing your crack?
Crack lover.
Yeah, I'm always
You're always
signing
all up on my crack.
I'm always signing that. Now, I do also one more thing, and then let's get into So I just started reading about Solo and all this stuff, and how it isn't like there were Star Wars fans protesting, and it didn't do
We
well.
protested every movie. By the way, it still
Did it do well? That's what I was gonna. It did pretty well, didn't
It's
it?
going to make money, yeah, and is making money. But it didn't do what the numbers they said were. So anybody who is mad at the direction the franchise is going is like, ultimate failure, this and that. Everybody slow down. They've made 4 movies. Those
Yeah.
movies have made $4.56 billion. They've basically already paid off the debt.
But let me ask you a question. This is what I'm going to ask you. You know, because the internet has obviously changed everything. Do you think they affect the future of how Star Wars makes their movies at all?
In no way, shape,
No way, shape, or form.
And I've discussed this before. Like, there's a plan that's been put in place by people who have invested, some of them, a good portion of their life, and others at least a couple of years, and really sort of thought out what their strategy as far as attacking a marketplace will be, right? And that's what every corporation is. How do we attack the marketplace?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very alpha dog mentality. They've already paid off the $4 billion that they paid for the franchise, and that's just off the movies. Just off the movies. You got to remember, Twitter is a very small representation of the social media universe, and it's probably, I know it hasn't risen in numbers in years, like
Right.
over a decade,
Right.
but that community still believes in one another. So they start campaigns like Not My Star Wars or this and that, and it may gain traction there, but you got to understand that's, as far as dollars go, a very small percentage of the population, and numbers obviously reflect that. People freak out and they start saying, or not freak out, but people who want to say the franchise is failing, look at, oh, well, they spent, $40 million on budget. That doesn't matter. That $40 million was already designated from stockholder money to the marketing department for the slate of movies coming out. It is not applicable to the production budget of the film. These are things that YouTube channel critics who have no education, no college degree in journalism or film, like to act like they know all these things, but you guys don't understand the base economics of how Hollywood works and how these business models works. Irrespective of the films coming out, here is how much money your marketing department has to sell them, and they better do a good job or they're gonna fire everybody but the main person, and if the next year that fails, then that person's gone too. So it's a really hard job to do.
Yeah.
And they have a set budget because they never want that stuff to get out of control, and it never does because they run, and all the production studios do this. So that's not an argument. The bottom line, the franchise is literally, and this is not arguable, making billions of dollars every year.
So
They're
bananas.
great. Look, I didn't love Solo. I thought it was the best first act. I said this, I'm not going to repeat it. The best first act in a Star Wars movie that I've seen since Empire. But I'm old school, and I like a slow build-up and then see sort of how the obstacle in our hero's way is going to make life difficult. In this case, it was Paul Bettany. I kind of know what he's going to do as a bad guy, so the second act fell apart for me. And the third act, they tried to save it with a lot of Woody Harrelson and a lot of the payoff stuff for the kid who played Solo, who I thought just nailed it. But we won't go back into that. But as far as people thinking it's failing, that's just a narrative that a lot of people are trying to push to bring more eyes to a YouTube channel they're trying to make money on.
You know what's crazy?
From Star Wars while talking shit about Star Wars. So that's all it is, and it's the only reason these people tweet me. They go, oh, well, I gave you my response. It's on my YouTube channel. Please look here. I'm like, dog, you think I'm not
going to.
I don't give a fuck about your uneducated opinion.
Dude, it only makes me want to see the movie. Is that crazy? But you know what movie I watched last
what
night?
we should be talking about is how those pigs drove Kelly Tran off social media. The girl from The Last Jedi, the Asian girl.
But they're
who
the
played
fucking
Rose.
worst, dude.
But no, she legit stopped her accounts. Like, she is no longer on it. And they celebrated when they did that and put out, like, messaging on social media, this was because of me and I'm so proud and all this. Like, for real, dog, that's your achievement. That's who your parents raised you to become so that you could be better than them and have a better life. Like, what specifically did you achieve? You didn't get paid? You didn't make no money off that?
Dude, I really think.
And now Hollywood's just going to give Kelly Tran another role, like Chandra Rhimes is going to make her a doctor on a TV show. And now all you did was make her a millionaire for the rest of her fucking life. And she doesn't even have to go on social media to sell shit because the studios are like, no, we understand. You don't have to live tweet during the episode, which every actor hates doing. She doesn't even have to do that. And she's going to be like the second lead on a show for the next 12 years.
Dude, I think that social media, low-key, could be the downfall of humanity.
I think a lot of people agree with that.
I
don't even think it's low-key, man.
I can't believe.
It just shows the worst
Yeah.
and the most honest form of humanity, which is who human beings are. There's no good or evil. Everyone's morality is unique to the environment that person was raised in, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you were raised Muslim, you're Muslim. If you're raised Christian, you're Christian. If you're raised Jewish, you're Jewish. If you're raised atheist, you're atheist. Or you think the Greek gods are cool. Like, you know what I mean? You might think all the gods are cool. You just don't believe in any of them. Whatever it is, that structure shaped your morality. So there are a ton of people on social media that take pride in insulting people they don't know, like Kelly Tran or me. They think they're doing something good or cool. But you just have to remember, like, I won't quit social media because I'm not as sweet and nice as Kelly Tran, but I keep saying Kelly Tran. I hope that's her name, the girl who played Rose. I always will punch back, unless it's like so lame that I'm like, I can't even respond to that. It's like a sixth grader writing me. But if you try and talk trash, like, I'm always gonna be better at it because I'm always gonna win.
Yeah.
Like you go to bed solo or with your girl who looks like she looks, and I go to bed with my wife. Like my wife. Like, you're worried about your bills, I ain't. Like, you're worried about waking up in time for work. I'm worried about whether I'm gonna catch the first surf break or not. Like, no matter what, if you troll me on social media, unless you're Bill Gates, I'm winning that fight, bro.
But guess what,
and
dude?
I just go back in to remind you of your place in society, which is among the unlookables, if you want to talk about the caste system from India, which I learned about in social studies.
For me, it's like, I just know, I take solace in knowing whoever is out there trolling has a terrible life.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's that impotent
Yeah.
ego that
Totally
uses
okay with it.
anger, which is the quickest form to reinflate it. It's why when we lose somebody, a lot of times we get angry with them. And it's not because we're angry with them, it's because our mind and our spirit sort of need that anger to make us feel less helpless about a situation there was nothing we could do about.
Yeah.
This isn't an actor, just some dumbass burnt out 90s actor trying to tell you how to live your life. That's Sigmund fucking Freud. Okay, that's not me. That dude's way smarter than me. But that's what the human condition needs to get through these things. And then as that anger subsides, we start to get closer to acceptance. And then there's the longing and all the other processes of
Yeah,
stuff that
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't need to get into. But that's just normal stuff. So when you lash out at me, that's you needing a connection to someone you feel is more important than you so that you can try and bring them down to your level. But you're losing because you already think I'm more important than you. And if your response is, no, I don't, I just think you're a dick. You do think I'm a dick, but I'm more important than you.
Oh my God, this is
yeah.
it's such a.
You want to talk about good stuff now?
Yeah, man, I do want to talk about good stuff. By the way, I saw Date Night last night.
Which one is that?
Jason Bateman.
Okay.
I think he's been playing the same character for about 10 years, but
That's pretty much all of us, bro.
he nails it.
Good.
He always nails that guy. I was high. Is that a shot? Are you gonna be surprised?
No.
By that? I was high. Can you believe that? Yeah. You might take a minute while you gather yourself. I was high and watching Date Night. And
I'll be honest, I didn't even know you smoked.
yeah, I know, man. I try to really. I'm really
Consider
low
our
key
friendship.
about it.
Well, I'm very conservative on that stuff, and I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, no. I would
Doing a
never do it.
podcast with
Yeah, no. I won't talk about it anymore, and
Thank
I'll
you.
take it out of my back pocket.
Appreciate it.
But I was watching.
In your back pocket?
No.
I didn't even smell
I
it.
wish it was.
You're amazing.
I was watching it, and man, I miss movies like that. And it also reminded me of like why I do stand up. I just like silly fun.
Yeah, man, we're all conditioned by the movies that we fell in love with
Yeah.
as kids. I think that's why I said like why I like the first act so much, because it felt like an 80s first act.
Yeah.
Like nothing happens at all. Like it's very slow. There's only like 2 sort of events in it, where nowadays in movies there's like 27 events going on in the first act, and you're like, holy shit. Oh, and, you know what I mean?
Well, you
And that's
can't keep up
awesome.
with it.
But I can't keep up with it. My
Dude,
mind is too feeble.
It's like
It's like trying to keep up with Westworld season 2.
Yeah, but it's like shows like exactly. You know, I watched the first part, the first couple episodes of How to Get Away with Murder and
Sure.
Scandal, because I'm interested about, and it dawned on me that what happened in the pilot and in the first 3 episodes in the past,
I've never seen these shows.
just so you know, in the past, say 10 years ago, the first 3 episodes would have taken 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason these shows spiral so quickly into unbelievable.
And it's not their fault.
No, because the audiences of America have told them, no downtime. I need pack. And so they're packing all these crazy storylines
I hold on.
up
but
front.
It's not audience.
Well, whoever
It's
it is.
studio and network.
Whoever it is.
So, look, I've seen a lot of first drafts.
Yeah?
Okay, and where they start to where they end up,
crazy.
is night and day. And the biggest thing that studios do, and this is a mistake, and a lot of times I'm on the studio side, but when I think they're wrong, I've said on this podcast a million times.
Yep.
Like I say when I think DC's wrong or Warner Brothers is screwing up. Like I say that stuff. They want you to put so much information because they don't believe audiences can deal with surprises. They believe audiences want predictability. They
Yeah.
believe that every show in some way should feel like Law and Order. So every first draft you get, there are subtleties and secrets waiting for episode 8. But by the time the pilot's gone, the big reveal that the good guy was the bad guy is the end of the pilot.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you're like,
Where does the show go now?
okay, so I know now that this guy's the bad guy and this guy's the good guy, and how are they gonna beat each other?
You know-
which is cool, and there's a whole generation that is conditioned to accept that, but we're not, man. Like, they would make you, like the Star Wars movies. They made you wait 3 movies before Darth Vader died.
Thank you.
Nowadays, you know what I mean? The fact that Kylo's even still alive, I'm like, wow, man, motherfucker's
He's
like
really laughing.
Neo in the Matrix. Adam Driver's like, swan. I'm sure they're trying.
You know, it's so funny. So my cousin Scott was on a show called The Nine, which was in a slew of shows that came out after Lost that tried to run that same kind of, right? But I loved Lost. I loved Sopranos because those shows made you have patience.
Sopranos, yeah. Lost, you had to have patience because they didn't know where the hell they were going. Those
Still,
comic book writers
yeah,
came in and saved it.
Yeah, but it was still...
We're not deep diving Lost. We've already 35 minutes.
Okay,
No way.
We're not deep diving.
No chance.
But let me just
no
say,
way in hell.
what I loved about Sopranos, and then let's get into everything else. What I loved about Sopranos and what I love about TV in general, the TV shows... Sopranos was so good because they didn't kill everybody every show. Sopranos was so good because they'd go 3 shows where nothing happened.
Sopranos was so good because Terry Winters,
So good.
knows what the fuck he's
But I'm saying,
doing.
they didn't treat his audience like we were stupid.
No, but you have to have a showrunner who knows how to deal with the studio. You have to have a showrunner that goes, I hear your note, it's wrong. I'm not doing it. Or a showrunner who goes, that's a great note, we'll work it in, and then they just fucking ignore it. But you have to be slick, and they have to respect you, but you can't treat them like you're a literati and they don't know shit, or they will squash you dead. If you try to be the smartest person in the room, they'll be like, oh, fuck you and your ego and fuck your pilot. We will cancel you today and put another show on that looks just like yours and keep it on 7 years. Or not. Like, they don't give, it is a cutthroat business. So they got no time for your bullshit. You can't give them bullshit until you're the man or the woman, and then you can sort of call your own shot. So someone like Terry Winter has to be so savvy and smart and smooth. It's like walking through a minefield without a detector. You're just using instinct. Where would the enemy fucking bury it? Oh, that's where I'd put it, but he's not like me. Like, that's how these special shows are able to stay on, because they have a showrunner that's able to navigate through that. Whether they have to be aggressive or they have to be accepting and sneaky. Those are the ones, because the notes are always the same. You've been on enough shows, you know how it is. Every note from every single studio is exactly the same on every single show, and it's just because they want to have their fingerprints.
Do you want to hear the worst
on the show?
Executive
And
note?
there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No. Want to hear the worst note I've ever heard from my studio?
I don't know. I have one that might beat it.
I'm not going to tell you what show because you guys could probably look it up.
I'll tell you all what show.
But I happened to be sitting in on a show that was a predominant black show. Black cast.
You're going to give it away if you keep talking like this. Just say what the note is.
And
You'll be all
there
up on
was...
Twitter.
Well, no, I've. But this isn't necessarily a show that I was writing on at the time.
Were you acting on this show?
I was just on... Let's just say we were there.
Okay, you were there.
And so there's a scene where there's a bunch of black people and something good happened. And the note from the network was, well, can they just start dancing?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And the head writer, who was like, let me just see if I got this note
We should
right.
bring Dule Hill on as a guest.
He raises his hand. He raises his hand. He goes, let me see if I got this right. There's a group of black people. They get good news. So they just break out and dance.
It's good that the director said that out loud.
Oh, no, the head writer.
The head writer,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, so that's the kind of a showrunner that will, in this case, they're being aggressive, right? And they're calling you out. Now that's risky because you embarrass your executive. If your show's borderline, gone.
Yeah, it didn't last. But it was a great question because, like,
It deserved to be asked.
100%.
100%. You should
What's
be
your worst
called
one you've
on
heard?
your bullshit. Okay. We had a scene with my character in a confessional, and he was there because the girl that went in front of him was way hot. Okay. And it was played by Miss Universe Denise Quinones.
Okay.
And she was also Miss Puerto Rico. She competed in 2 pageants in her whole life. She won them both. That's how gorgeous she was.
Yeah.
So her character's name is Denise, and she goes in there, and I see her come out. I'm like, I'm going in. And he's like, well, yeah, I've got a confession in front of us. It's like, I gotta find out about that girl. So he goes in there, and we're talking and all this stuff. And the priest basically like kicks me out. And he's like, you're the worst Catholic I've ever had. I'm like, come on, man, just put in a good word. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like trying to get in. Then we do the whole run through, and the network comes out. And this is not for the audience. This is just for the studio network. And I believe it was a studio note. I don't remember for sure, but an exec is an exec is an exec. And they come up and they said, Freddie, funny scene, really funny scene. You were really funny. So you get 3 compliments like that in a row. and
you
they're
know
all
what's
the
coming
same.
next.
You're
You
like,
know what's
"Oh."
coming.
And this was like episode 9 or 10. So I'd already
you
heard
know what's
so
coming
many
in, like,
shit
yeah.
notes. Like, I was like, all right, here we go. And they go, I don't think at ABC the audience would want to see a Catholic, a good Catholic, because you're a good Catholic. It's always 3 times.
Yeah.
Right? Just looking for a date in the confessional. I said, okay, well, he's not a good Catholic. He's actually told that he's the worst Catholic. Yeah, we might have to tweak that joke. Okay, so right away I'm like, oh Lord. And so then I say, okay, so what is it specifically you're looking for? And they're like, well, we thought it would be good if he went in and then actually did his confession, and that's what makes the priest actually think about setting these 2 up. I go, okay, so you want me to be a good Catholic, but you want him to be a shitty priest? And she stops, and look, I was 29 years old,
Yeah.
and I was a very different person then, and I go, look, this is why the director gives notes to actors, because right now, you're giving me way more than writing notes, like you're trying to give me character notes, and we're not speaking the same language. And she goes, I go talk to the writers? I was like, I'll go talk to the writers with you. And so I walk her over, she gives her note,
Yeah.
I look at them, I go, look, when she leaves, I go, we can do this, but when we do it for the audience, the cameras ain't gonna fucking be on.
Yeah.
I was like, we ain't shooting that. And the writer was like freaking out. The head writer was like, oh yeah, okay, let me talk to her. I go, you don't have to say shit. Say, hey, that's a great note. We're gonna lock it in. Let's see how it plays. And I was like, it's a rehearsal. I don't give a shit. I'll do whatever. I was
Yeah.
like, but when we shoot,
We're not doing that.
it ain't that scene. So you get some bad. Basically, the note was, can I find Jesus?
Yeah.
No.
No,
You can't.
I
Or the
can't.
show's over.
Yeah. Well, nobody accused
Or
them
it
of
changes
being
to Highway
super
of Heaven.
smart.
Without further ado,
Go. Which one are you jumping into?
I'm gonna go UFC first because I got to say some stuff about CM Punk, and maybe I'll skip the other stuff before we run out of time, and go into WWE. So, you saw CM Punk's first fight against Mickey Gall.
Will you explain to people who CM Punk is?
CM Punk, Chick Magnet Punk. I always thought it stood for Chicago Made, but it doesn't. His real name's Phil Brooks. He was, and probably still could be, and hopefully soon will be, one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. He did it in Japan. He did it for Ring of Honor. He did it for other independent wrestling organizations all over the world. And then Vince McMahon offered him a contract, and he became, by his own words, the voice of the voiceless. This guy could do anything that your favorite wrestler could do in the ring, and he was magical on a microphone. And every word that came out of his mouth was his truth. He was an artist, a fighting artist, as they would call him in Japan, for New Japan Pro Wrestling out there. And that's truly who he was and who he is. He lived a straight edge punk lifestyle, no drinking, no drugs, pretty much his whole life. That type of discipline, sacrifice, and the willingness to be ostracized from basically society takes an incredible amount of will and discipline. I'm done complimenting now.
Okay.
He is a black belt in Kempo Karate. I have a black belt in Kempo Karate.
Okay.
It does not translate.
It doesn't?
In
How come?
any way, shape. It is form-based, okay? Form-based, meaning if someone is behind you and grabs you like this,
Right.
you do these following techniques and one of them hopefully will work. They don't, okay? I have other black belts as well. I have other blue belts as well. I wrestled, I boxed. All those skills are superior to what Kempo Karate brings to the table. I'm not shitting on Kempo. It was great. It was my introduction to martial arts, but it was nothing more than an introduction, and it has been proved as Kempo fighters have challenged jiu-jitsu fighters time and time again, and they get murked in seconds, not minutes, seconds. And by like kids, by Hiro Gracie when he was 16. This guy was doing a story for Black Belt magazine, and Kempo Street Style was the best. This guy was a grown man. Hiro was 16. He yoked him out twice in 1 minute. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it's like not even fair. So Punk starts training jiu-jitsu. He has a white belt when he goes against Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall is a black belt. What do
That's
you
the
do?
end of that.
So he gets choked out in 2 seconds. Now, I don't know where his belt's at now, but from what I saw, it is not a blue belt. He did not try to escape when he had his opponent in the guard even once. He just held on with his legs and tried to pull himself close without even pulling the body close so he wouldn't get punched. He just kept getting hit in the face, hit in the face. There's a very famous Gracie brother who's passed away that said, punch a black belt in the face, they become a brown belt. Punch him again, they become a purple belt, and so on and so forth. So if he does have a blue belt,
Right.
and I don't believe he does, I didn't see that. Maybe that would explain why his jiu-jitsu looked so foundationally flawed and almost childlike.
At this point in the UFC, do you have to be at least a blue belt or better in jiu-jitsu?
You should be, but you don't have to be.
Is
But you
Conor
should be.
McGregor?
I'm sure he is by now. I'm sure he is by
So
now.
that's one of like.
I hope so.
If you're starting off, like you're gonna get in that ring, and even the superior strikers, because he's a superior striker.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Chuck Liddell was ever a jiu-jitsu guy.
No, but he was a JUCO wrestler and a high-level wrestler.
He was.
At that, yeah.
Okay, so but at this point in the UFC, because it's still a young sport, so people are starting. But like, what's the base level if you're getting in that ring? What should you know base level?
You better have the knowledge of a blue belt if you don't have a blue belt.
In jiu-jitsu.
In jiu-jitsu.
Or wrestling, or it has to be jiu-jitsu.
Look, wrestling and jiu-jitsu are very different, but for purposes of this conversation, I will lump them into the group of grappling.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
You should have a strong sense of being comfortable with closeness. You should be comfortable in a clinch and not be worried about falling to the ground, either because your wrestling prevents them from getting you to the ground or your jiu-jitsu enables you to attack them while you're on the ground. Okay? So we'll leave it at that. I think you should have at least the knowledge of a blue belt. There are some that don't, that have had a ton of success, especially if you're a heavyweight, because you just have so much power.
Yep.
And it isn't 100% necessary, but damn, it doesn't hurt, so why not do it? That said, his striking, he got outstruck. Now, granted, he's fighting a boxer, so he's going to lose that.
He got
But
pummeled.
this is where it gets bad. Like, I don't know Phil well enough to call him a friend, okay? Like, we didn't work together at WWE, but I was there at the same time. We always said hello, and we were respectful to each other. But his back was blown out then, okay? Like, I would watch him with a hot pack around his back and getting worked on for like 3 hours before he would have a match that isn't real, where someone's not trying to hurt you. They're trying to protect your body while doing damage to it. And I see him try to move and do basic techniques, and his body just doesn't allow him to do it. You cannot start MMA fighting after your body has figured out who it is as an athlete. Like, if you're a football player and some genetic freak, then your body's going to be more adept to any type of movement because of your flexibility. But Phil's body was already broken when he started training MMA. And so when you see him try to move, he simply can't. Like, no lateral movement, no lateral foot movement, only retreating straight backwards, never at an angle, only attacking on a straight line, never shifting the body weight left or right before the strike, using his forehead as a defensive tool, which is not smart, and then getting out wrestled by a guy that can't wrestle. I have respect for Phil, for CM Punk. I have respect for his will and his dedication and his hunger to be a rich man and be hungry. But his willingness to be ostracized based on his sort of straight edge choices has bled into business choices now, where he's willing to go into a situation where he has no chance of success, no chance of victory, no chance of looking good, and do it just to spite himself. And I genuinely believe that's where he is. And he needs to stop.
Could he go back to WWE?
He could go back tomorrow. He just had kind of a weird lawsuit with him. But the WWE is about money.
Right.
And there's money to be made in CM Punk at WrestleMania. So they would sign him tomorrow, even though they just finished a lawsuit.
All right. And,
It's business, man.
Yeah,
It's business.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Vince don't care about that shit. As soon as the case is over, boom, what do we got next? Like,
Yeah.
it's just business. So I hope he does. I doubt he will. Maybe when Vince is all the way gone, if it was just Hunter, but Hunter and him never got along because he thinks Hunter's not a truthful, honest guy.
Right. Well, I got to tell you, man, I look at that, and I know people badmouth them, but I feel the same way. It's just like when I see people badmouth comics or someone doing open mic if they don't think they're funny. Funny or get the shit beat out of you. So much respect.
I respect
to get
it,
in the ring.
But it's like I had
But
a
it's
friend
time.
who wanted
Yeah,
to
I'm
be
with
a
you.
comic, and he tried for a year
Respect.
going up, and he did it the way you did it, multiple times a night, hosting open mics, whatever spot he could sneak in. After a year, I was like, dog, I'm going to your shows, and it's hard to laugh. Like, I love you. What's going on right now? Are you sure this is what you want to
Yeah.
do? Do you want to act and just go after funny roles where somebody else is writing? Because these jokes haven't played yet. and you know what I mean? But I'm real and blunt, and so by the way, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
But I love the guy. I mean, if I saw him tomorrow, I'd just give him a hug and be like, dude,
Yeah.
what's going on in your life? You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I just had to be truthful and real. And if I was his wife or his friend, you know, Punk Circle is very, very small, I would sit him down and say, hey, man, look me in the eye and tell me this is the right decision. Not for you,
Yeah.
for life.
Yeah.
The right decision, because if we're talking about just about you, you're going to be talking about right now. Let's talk about life. Is this what you want to be?
And how old do
know,
you think he is?
He's 36.
So he's
37?
just now getting punched in the face.
I'm
like,
saying,
it seems
like,
a little
it's just
fucked up.
not worth it. So that'll transfer us over to WWE, which you know I love.
Yeah, you do.
They got a dude named Kevin Owens from Montreal, Quebec. He's kind of like a big belly kind of, not like the muscle guy, but he can do everything that every wrestler can do. And he's sick on the mic, and they have this horrible first segment that he saved, and they should have just let him keep talking. And by the way, when you guys are going to have a segment, and you know there's going to be people on the mic that can't talk, and Kevin is in a segment, Kevin should start the segment so that the energy's good. Then when the people who can't talk suck the energy out, you bring Kevin in again, and then you let the general manager come out and go, hold on, everybody, we got to fix this, and we're going to have a match. And you close the promo with Kevin Owens. Not with people who aren't as good on the mic. You give them opportunities to get better on the mic on live television in the middle of the promo. Not the beginning or the end, because that's the parts we remember the most, but I'm not going to harp on him. Elias. Okay? This is, if you were a pro wrestler, this is who the producer would have been. Okay? Mm-hmm. This guy comes out shirtless with like a Hollywood silk scarf like draped around his neck. Fingerless gloves for no reason, covered in sweat, shirtless. I said shirtless.
Yeah.
Right? He's got long black hair, make sure it's wet, and he carries a guitar over his shoulder.
I love this guy already.
When they do his promos, which is like his monologue from the movie, he's in the middle of the ring, sitting on a stool, guitar in hand. All the house lights are out, totally dark. One white light, boom. The crowd cheers or booed in the beginning, and all you hear is, hello, I am Elias. And it's this very like slow kind of monotone voice, right? And then he would start, and now what I need you to do is shut your mouths and turn off your phones while I play for you. And he would start to sing these songs, and he would talk shit about whatever city he's in, okay? So this guy started on NXT, and I hated him. I did not get it. Hunter saw something in him, and he's always been sick at identifying talent, always. And he brings him up.
How come he hasn't called me yet?
You're close. You're on the list. I don't think our tweets have gotten to him yet about.
All right, yeah, I'll add him.
So Hunter brings him on because he sees something. I don't know what it is, but he's dead on. So now he's hated for weeks, and all of a sudden they start to cheer, and he starts to get over. And all of a sudden he changes the moniker of WWE to Walk with Elias. Now the whole crowd says it, and after they say it, he usually tells them, shut up, don't say it. So they want to say it more. Like, he totally gets over by telling them not to get me over, right? It's fucking genius.
That's genius.
So now they have set up a wrestler named Seth Rollins, who is just great. Great on the mic, great in the ring. He's been the world champion. Hunter did the job, meaning lost the title to him, meaning he really believes in the guy. They put the Intercontinental title on him. He's too good for that title, so it's going to be a temporary thing. So he's holding it for this dude. And they've had this number where Seth is the babyface. Everyone loves Seth. He's the more a badass babyface. I like him more as a heel. I don't like him so much as a face. But they've been having this gimmick where my man's just coming out with the guitar and Honky Tonk Man style.
Oh,
just
man, I
smashing
love
it.
Honky Tonk Man.
Like all the time, just killing him with it. So last night, he's out there in the middle of, and he's gonna sing his song, and all of a sudden Seth Rollins comes out, and he wants to fight, man. He's pissed, and they get in the ring and they squab a little bit, and Elias has to kind of get out. He gets thrown out of the ring, but he backs up. But now, Seth is in the middle of the ring, and he's left alone with Elias's guitar. And the gimmick is that John Mayer gave Elias this guitar. And it's acoustic, electric, and amazing, and he's good friends with John Mayer. Like, that's the gimmick. He's probably never met the guy in his fucking life. John Mayer's like, who?
Who?
Who the fuck is Elias? Elias Koteas from the original Ninja Turtles movie? Casey Jones for life. So now he's alone in there, and everybody knows what's going to happen. And, of course, Seth, after, like, playing with him for a while, wow, look at the craftsmanship. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful this guitar is. It has your name etched into it right here. You guys, look, this is gorgeous. And then he fucking smashes it and breaks it to set up this match they're gonna have at Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental Championship, where I am 100% certain Elias is going to win and put on an Intercontinental reign. Maybe not the likes of the Honky Tonk Man, which was well over a year. I think it was even probably like 3 years, probably. But it will be sort of one of those epically long Intercontinental title reigns. I want you to. I'll send you a couple clips on YouTube of this guy Elias. I'll send you some of his NXT stuff so you can see what I didn't like, and you can see how confident he is in his craft now. Like, you can see how nervous he was in the beginning. There was a little bit of Sally Field, like, please like me, please like me. And now it's full on, like, you better not like me. And I love him. So there you go, Elias. Shout out to you.
By the
You're
way,
the fucking man.
are you excited about being on Controlled Chaos tonight?
Yes, I am, dude. My very first episode. Thank you very much. Are you excited about it?
I'm super excited. It's you and Haley Reinhart is singing her brand new single, and Brad Wallach's gonna be here, and we're all excited about that.
For reasons people will find out tonight.
You gotta watch tonight. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yes.
It's gonna be a good time. But do you think you could think of 4 movies you would like to see?
Yeah, I think so. Let's start it up.
Okay. So I just started thinking about people who I like to see together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like anytime John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell are together.
Love that, yeah.
I'm just happy.
Yeah.
So I don't think Step Brothers needs a sequel because they were in a good place. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Talladega Nights too.
That would be money. It's funny, my first one is a Will Ferrell one too.
Yeah, I mean, because to me, those two together make me so damn happy. So that's what I'm going with.
Okay, what was the one where Will Ferrell owns the ABA basketball team, the Detroit Tropics?
Jackie Moon, right?
Yeah, that was his name.
Yeah.
But what was the name of the movie?
I forget.
He had the great scene. Okay, so what I would love to see is the Detroit Tropics in the NBA that first season, but in like a reverse major league.
Yeah.
So instead of making it to the playoffs, they just die and then they're out the fucking league.
fucking love
It loses everything.
That's a really good one.
So that would be Tropic Thunder. No,
Tropic Thunder.
I was thinking Detroit Tropics. Man, what's the name of that movie?
Tropic Thunder was a great movie, though.
It was a great movie.
Now,
what's your number?
Can I add a sequel to something that's already had a sequel?
You want to add a third?
I want to add a 4th.
Oh shit! Yeah, go ahead.
Man, I miss Mike Myers. I miss the silly fun. And I know that one, The Love Guru, wasn't good, wasn't great, but man, one more him with Dr. Evil and Austin Powers, I would love to see.
Yeah, man. One day they will. It never was a failed franchise, so one day they will.
Right, and the argument can be made, and it is made by my brother, that it was the only trilogy where they got better.
All of them. I don't care what order you have them in. They're all
Phenomenal.
money. Yeah,
Phenomenal.
they can make a 4th one tomorrow.
If they made a
And it was
Fat
still
Bastard movie, I would watch that.
They could.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so my second is very easy. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
Okay.
And they could very easily make a sequel to it because nobody ages. And it would be a sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah, and he'd be on tough times, man, because cartoons have changed. SpongeBob's balling out. He's like the fucking Godfather. And he's been like blacklisted, my man Roger.
Oh, I like that
so
shit.
long. So Roger's out on the streets, man, trying to like hustle kids' birthday parties and shit. And then he has like an epic comeback and an adventure where he saves the day.
I would like to see for my third, and this is because you know the evolution of people and times, but I would like to see whatever version the Warriors are right now.
What, dude? No way.
I want to see, like, are they still wearing those stupid ass fucking vests? Do they?
No, they're not.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are they?
That one's not getting.
Are they
made.
being chased by that baseball gang? Are those the funniest gang that made me laugh is those dudes.
Shuffleboard.
The dudes with overalls and roller skates. I was like, yo, what gang is that? What gang is in the roller skates that got beat up in the They're wearing roller skates and overalls. What's the name of that game? So I would like to see the Warriors, just because I would like to see an updated version on what they're doing with those New York gangs.
Okay. All right. The movie didn't do well, but it was a way underrated film, and if you did a sequel to it, like the possibilities would be endless because they broke all sort of the rules of genetics in the movie. It's a comedy. I think all mine are probably gonna be in that world. Starring Michael Keaton, and I will make a Multiplicity 2, more multiples. Wow. Where the project gets out of control and he's starting to see himself everywhere because it's really hit. And maybe there's a clone rogue or a rogue clone. And why am I so dyslexic today? There's a for real, man. There's like a rogue clone out just cloning himself, copying himself, copying himself, copying himself. And there's too many. And he's got to go on a hunt for him. Bring him in.
I like that, man.
Look, I love it. Look, nobody saw the movie, so most people be like, what?
Yeah, what's he talking about?
But watch it. Like, it didn't do well because of what was going on in the world at the time. It opened like, it were also going against the 100-meter dash in the Olympics when people still watched. Oh, I guess people still watch. But yeah, it's a funny movie, and I would love to see a sequel to that.
And here's my last pitch for a sequel that could actually...
Hit me.
Ready for this?
I'm ready, dude.
It's Dorothy's granddaughter.
Oz style?
Dorothy's granddaughter.
Dude, there's some pretty cool animated stuff you should check out that I've kind of played with.
Have they really?
Yeah.
Dorothy's granddaughter, and she puts Dorothy to sleep. But like in Dorothy Goes to Oz Now. Dorothy's granddaughter goes to Oz Now. That's what I would love to see, because there's so many look with CGI and whatever fucking special effects, it could be so beautiful and cool. I would love to see what minds, like, I bet you Tim Burton's version of Oz would be fucking bananas.
Except you'd break a lot of their rules probably. So I don't
You think
know.
so?
Yeah.
He likes to do that, doesn't he?
Well, I mean, he's been so successful
Yeah.
that your ego kind of dictates, hey, I know best, I know better.
But I would love to see an updated version of what that looks like.
You totally just gave me my fourth, though.
Oh, let's hear.
You said Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Fucking Beetlejuice. I don't care if it's 2 Michael Keaton movies. Fucking
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
If Beetlejuice is cast today.
Michael Keaton.
Right, but say without. But,
Hell no.
But if
No.
no, they write the movie now.
No,
There hasn't been a one,
there's never been a 1?
and they write it today.
What am I talking about?
I'm saying say they write one today, and it's never been. Who gets cast as who is this generation's Michael Keaton? I don't know that there is one, really. Wow.
That's hard. They hire more handsome today.
Wow.
So that's
could
tough.
do?
Sam Rockwell could.
Yeah, he could, because he dances in between.
Sam Rockwell can do
anything.
anything, bro. I don't know if you saw him host Saturday Night Live, but he showed a lot more range that movies haven't allowed him to yet. I think he's the first one that pops in my head. That's
I like that one.
cast.
I like that one. All right, so you got Beetlejuice?
That's my 4.
All right.
Do you have an honorable mention you want to throw in there?
Um,
Because I would throw in, since you did like a 4th, I would want to see One Last Wayne's World, where they try to throw like one last big concert.
man, I would kill to see another Wayne's World.
That would be my honorable mention.
Mine too. I'm gonna throw an honorable mention of Wayne's World in there. Guys, I canceled my, just so you know, for those of you who were coming to see me in Albany, I had to cancel that weekend, which is the weekend of the 24th coming up. That is the weekend of Jackson's Memorial, so I had to cancel that
I think
weekend.
they'll forgive you.
Yeah. But comedianjoshwolf.com for tour dates. Prinze and the Wolf. Make sure you tune into Controlled Chaos on the Facebook fan page.
Tonight.
7 p.m. Pacific time.
That's right.
And what you got, man?
Check us out on YouTube. If you can't listen to the episode, or if you listen to it and you want to watch it, we usually drop them on Thursdays on youtube.com/GEGGHEAD. That's egghead with a
G.
Check us out there. Check me out on social media. We also have lots of other funny stuff there. And Boston,
August 11th,
August 11th, and the Boston Con. I will be out there for that entire weekend. So if you're in that area and you want to come say hello, you want an autograph or something like that, you want to come to the show afterwards, maybe you get to be on the stage, sing a verse with the master.
We're going to bring some people on stage, mother scratches, so you better be writing your verses and shit.
That's right.
All right, everybody. And I would suggest right now, if you're listening and you're going to be at the con, or you're in Boston, I would buy the tickets now. August 11th is the show, and that's it.
And we're bringing shirts.
We're bringing shirts,
in the
and
Wolf.
you guys are gonna get on stage and Prinze in the Wolf.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.